What's good, y'all? My name is Saadiq.Ranks, and today I'll be speaking about how to know your finances and how I saved $15,000 within the last year. Saying no, basically the psychology of money, being comfortable saying no, being prepared for the miracle, and then I'll get into like my budgeting tactics, how I go through my cash flow, how I go through my balance sheet, and takeaways and like resources you could use to kind of like use for your own finances. So to go off for like my situation, to give you some context about me, I'm in college right now, my third year. Coming into college and high school, I had a job. I've been working since like 14. So I've had money coming in since like 14. And I've had a lot of times and like tribulations to kind of like figure out, all right, this is what I usually spend my money on. This is what I need to not spend my money on. This is the problems I might run into it. I had a joint account with a family member for my high school checkings account. And that kind of like messed me up throughout that because, you know, it just wasn't necessarily just my account and my finances, so I had to like navigate my way through that. So coming into college, I came into college with a brokerage account because in high school I was like trading and throwing my money at stocks and stuff like that. So I came into college with a high school checkings account and a brokerage account. When I got to college, probably my first semester, I transferred my high school checking into a college checkings account, and from there, that's when I kind of like started like my real finances journey. Within 6 months, I think I was pressured into opening a Discover student account, and I did that. Best decision, because that's when I got my kind of started my credit journey, and that was early into the game, you know, and I wasn't overspending. I was figuring stuff out. They raised my limit. I got a different card and stuff like that, and that's how I kept the credit journey going. But I want to back up a little bit and get kind of like into the psychology of money. Coming into college and figuring out how to find your voice. You know, like I found my voice when I figured out, you know, I got here and you know, like, damn, like these people are not in your walks of life. These people are going out to birthday dinners. These people are, and when they go to a birthday dinner, they don't want to go to a regular, you know, a regular nice Miss Lily's or something like that, where, you know, it's a little bit expensive, but it's enough to deal with as a college student. No, they want to go to Taj, they want to go to Tao, Brooklyn Chop House. Since we're going to stuff like that, I had to realize, yo, if I ever go here, one, I'm ordering the cheapest thing off the menu, or I'm pre-gaming before. I'm not getting drinks there. One, I'm pre-gaming with food too before. So now I'm eating a little bit before I get there. And I might be ordering just an appetizer. You know, this is like figuring out what you need to do for your finances. And for me, I learned that pretty early. You know, like I was pretty self-disciplined when it came to spending money. I was not a big online shopper. One, because, you know, I'm pretty small, so all the clothes I would order was not fitting me when it came in. So it kind of like worked out to my benefit coming in. Like this was my mindset going in. Even like towards the end of high school, I was pretty, I guess, like self-dependent when it came to like money. Like, yes, I would ask for different things. Like my parents would give me like dorm care packages, so they'd set me up when I got here. They'd buy the cleaning supplies and stuff like that. But like other than that, or like my jacket, other than that, when it came to like everyday expenses, or like it started to come to like, you know, like hair care and like body care and doing these different things, if I want to go out, dinner, stuff like that, that's on me, right? So I had to be able to budget my money and my time wisely, because, you know, I had to make sure that I was able to cover my responsibility of my phone bill and stuff like that. Like this is my mindset going into every payment I'm making. I'm like, do I really need to buy this? And then it came out to where it's like, you know, I'm not really spending on like regular leisure stuff or like luxurious stuff. I'm not really spending that much. I keep myself laced for a good season. You know, I'll be able to have some nice shoes, right? Like I'm not buying these often. I'm always buying stuff on sale. I remember I bought like 3 pairs of New Balances, and my friends was like, whoa, he's balling. I'm not. That was $180. You know, I bought it on sale. A really good time where it's like, all right, I could load up on this stuff and I'll be good for the next couple of years. Or like, even if I go to like PacSun and stuff like that, this is finding your voice. I go to PacSun, I pick up 3 pairs of pants, they all $70. Crazy, first of all. I go to the register, I'm like, do I really need this? I'll put 2 of them back. You know, like you have to be able to put stuff back. You got to be able Nah, I'm not going to that birthday dinner. You gotta be able, nah, I'm not really feeling the club right now. I don't really have it in me to spend $30 cover, and then if I want some drinks, $20 on top of that. Right? Like, this is how I'm finding my voice throughout college, because you have to say no to a lot of things if you want to stay financially stable. Not only am I saying no to a lot of different things, but when I do receive a lump sum of money, or when I do have an income and I have a job or something like that, that's when I'm making sure that I'm allocating correctly, right? Like, I was always a stock dude, so I love to invest into my brokerage account, right? Like, and all the money that I've invested in, I've never taken a dime out of my brokerage account. That's kind of like my philosophy that I live by. That's like, all right, if I put it in there, I have to be ready to forget about it. And by the way, a brokerage account is basically like an investment account. So it basically just opens you up to the world to be able to buy stocks, just investments and stuff like that. So let's say I get a $500 check from my school because I be working for my school and stuff like that. I get a $500 check bi-weekly, so it's $1,000 a month, right? My phone bill is like $70 a month. Probably spending like $200 on like food, right? From there, I'm looking, okay, if I'm receiving this, both from these checks, how much is going to my savings, which is a lot. I think the difference that we hit when it's like a college student is like, y'all don't realize how much you could save. We just blow through a lot of money. We blow through a lot. But like, if you could save, like I remember I was reining in checks, I was saving like 50, 60%. I was storing that away. Put 30% of my brokerage account, 30% of my savings. The last like 10% is really for like, all right, like leisure spending and stuff like that. It didn't really get until I started getting older, where a lot of like leisure spending started to get a lot more expensive for me because I have a girlfriend. But like, aside from that, I think like college students just get into this world where it's like, all right, damn, like, nah, I need to leave this bread for me to be able to like have fun. But it's like, the more bread that you leave to have fun, the more capacity you have to have fun.
The more bread that you leave to have fun, the more capacity you have to have fun.
You know, like, if you leave yourself only like 150 to have fun, what's the fun gonna look like? You gonna find different ways to have fun, for real. And that fun doesn't look like just like online shopping to make yourself feel good, or like going to the club to make yourself feel good. This might be like, all right, if I could cook at home, bring it to the picnic, now we having a good little time, bring a book, and it's different than going out getting margaritas on a Saturday, and then by night you got to figure out what you got to eat. You know, it's starting to like think about these things in like a different way, and it's kind of like the psychology that I'm trying to talk to. But when it comes to like the allocation, once again, if I'm busting down these two checks and I'm looking at this, I'm allocating a lot towards savings when I can, and it's a lot when I can, right? So like, I'm storing away, so when I'm not having this type of income, I'm good for that time. I'm floating for that time. You can't have foundation under debt like that. Like, if you got, and I don't mean like student loan debt. I mean like, if you have credit card debt and stuff like that, to me, the best thing that I do is bite the bullet. I'm like, yo, if I need to pay this off, let me pay this off. It's a band now. Paid off. 2,000 paid off. I don't care if I have 2,500 in my account and it's 2,000 I have in credit debt. I'm paying it off, and I'm going to thug it out with that 500, because the last thing I want to do is have this affect my credit score and I forget about this one minimum payment that I've been paying over time, and then now it's affecting my credit score indefinitely. You don't want that. Because I think also when it comes to like the idea behind it, you have to visualize what your life is going to look like in 8 years. If I want to get an apartment out of college, you're going to need credit. I know my sister graduated with amazing credit, and yet she still needed somebody to sign on for her. Like, this game, you need to play the rules correctly. You need to play the game by the book. And playing this game by the book is knowing how credit works, knowing your spending practices so you don't fall into the same things, right? And being prepared for that miracle. So being prepared for the miracle might look like you planting different seeds, and hopefully these seeds sprout up into something that makes some money. You know, me buying this camera, or I spoke about this before too in like college student video, but me buying this camera, or me buying these clippers, or me buying this hair gel, or me buying this sneaker cleaner, right, could all be different ways that I could kind of produce some type of money, right? And although I took this calculated risk of like buying this, spending about $1,000 on this camera, right? Like tomorrow I'm gonna be taking headshots for a friend for some money, you know, and I don't even promote that. This is just happening because somebody knows that I have a camera, you know, and this is different calculated risks that you could take. That like, all right, maybe I can accrue some money off of this because of this. And also like being prepared for the miracles, like setting yourself up with the good resources in the accounts. So when you're ready for that lump sum of money that comes in, all right, how do we break this down, right? How do we break this down? Shout out to Cecilia, my financial advisor, but I break it down through a balance sheet and through a cash flow sheet. So my balance sheet is going to be set up through total assets, long-term assets, and then total liabilities, long-term liabilities. Total assets might look like, all right, if you have a Bank of America account, this is what my checkings looks like in Bank of America account. If I have a Chase savings, this is what my Chase savings look like. And this is all the money that I have, right? My total liabilities. If I have multiple credit cards, this is what my this is what my liabilities look like. This is how much money is getting taken away from me versus this is how much money I have. And when we think of like assets, it's not necessarily just money or digital money within the accounts, but it also might look like a brokerage account where you have stocks. So my total assets doesn't just cover physical or digital money, it also covers physical or digital stocks. I also think some things that we forget about too is like, you know, I don't really put physical cash there, but I also do put like Cash App accounts, PayPal accounts, and stuff like that. Because personally, when I get paid through those, I usually don't extract those money out. I usually just let it sit. Because I like to diversify where I see my money and where I put my money. Because if I just see everything within one account, and I'm like, all right, I got money, until that shit starts dwindling heavily. And you're more prone to dwindle this amount of bread because it's in this account that you're comfortable with. Versus, you know, I have it spread throughout 6 of them. And I'm like, all right, if I have it spread throughout 6 of them, it's going to be a little bit harder for me to get to each account to spend everything. And if I'm taking my total liabilities away from my total assets and I'm subtracting, that's my net worth. And my net worth is good to know because I'm looking at if I'm trending upwards or downwards. You know, like since my job in the summer, I've been trending downwards. You know, that's not something I'm like, all right, oh, my stomach is hurting because of that. No, I could recognize that because I'm not making as much money. So I know that over month, I'm going to be losing more money or I'm going to be spending more money than I'm gaining because I'm not making as much. And that's okay for me. But I could recognize that and call that from 6 months back. Cash flow will be somewhat simple. That's when you're looking at, all right, what's my next paycheck look like? So once again, my paycheck bi-weekly when it comes to like working for the school, I might be getting $500 bi-weekly. All right, so this next paycheck coming on this date, right, I'm getting $500. How do I bust this down? Well, $200 of that is going into savings. Okay. $200 of that goes into savings. Now it's up to me where I want to put it into savings. I might put 100 of that into a high yield savings account where it's like my emergency money. I'm not going to touch that. Okay, put that there. The other $100, right, might be paying for a future trip, and that's where all of this. This is where like the separate savings account goes into, right? That I'm not touching. This is specifically for something, a purposeful savings account. Now I'm going to my fixed expenses, right? My phone bill, that's $70 right there, right? From there, all right, and I'm like, okay, I might probably spend like $100 on groceries within these 2 weeks off of this paycheck. So that's 300 plus 70. 200 from savings, 100 from groceries, 70 plus for my phone bill. That's 370. From that, all right, now I have 130 left in that $500 for leisure. We just busted down. That's what the cash flow looks like. This is how I look at my finances, where I go, okay, every 2 Sundays I'm doing my finances and I'm looking at this. All right, this is my spending habits. This is what's going on. I balance myself out. What does my next paycheck look like? What do I have to pay for? What do I foresee upcoming? If my girl's birthday month is coming up, all right, how much am I about to spend out of this paycheck for that? Right? And this is how we need to start looking at it a little bit more, because we need to be more intentional with our bread, because we're college students. If we're college students, or even if you're not a college student, if you're just looking at your money, this is how you know your finances, right? This is how you can predict a lot of different things. And as I said, like right now, I'm trending negatively, right? That means month over month, I'm losing money, right? But I'm preparing for the miracle. I know sooner or later, I'll probably get a job, or I'll probably stumble across some money that might come from like a refund or something like that, that might jumpstart a lot of other things. But at the foundational level, my accounts are good, my credit is good, I have a high yield savings account. It's just a little bit different. And that goes into like the future plan. You have to be okay with letting go of some money. Like some people, I know a lot of friends, I have a lot of friends that will just keep 15, 10, 5, 8,000 in one account and just leave it there and go, yeah, this is my savings. That's not doing nothing for you. It's not working. It's not putting no money. You're keeping it in a regular Capital One or Chase savings account that's getting you a cent a month. Put some of that into an investment account. Go put it in a brokerage account. Go invest it into some stocks that you already know of, right? And then on top of that, go put the rest into a high yield savings account where your money is actually spending a little bit. Like I'll show you how much I've accrued over within my high yield savings account, put up right here. And I'm not gonna show you how much I made from my brokerage accounts, but I can tell you, I've been making pretty good money when it comes to my stocks and stuff like that. We're going through a recession right now, so it's not as sweet as it was before, but it's like, the idea of just like keeping your money there is the reason why you're losing out on it so much. It's so much cash flow in and out coming out of that one account. How could you keep track? How could you? Diversify your bread. And this is coming from a college student that is literally doing this all. And I'm not giving you financial advice like I'm a financial advisor. I'm just telling you what I've been doing and what's been working out for me. I have a lot of goals as a college student. One goal is like, I want to be able to come out and get an apartment right out of college. And I live in the city. So since I live in the city, you could tell that that's pretty expensive, and then my goal is pretty high for it. But I'm on track because not only am I preparing for the miracle, like I got my foundation correct, I'm getting my credit correct, but I'm also like staying up to date on financial literacy. I've been learning as I bump my head sometimes. Sometimes you gotta bump your head when it comes to like credit cards and stuff like that. But like as long as you talk to the right people, you research, you look at like real stuff and try to like actually ask some questions about it, I think you'll be really good when it comes to like looking at your finances post college. And if you get it right now, like who's to say what you're gonna look like at 30, 25? I just realized, my microphone wasn't recording, so this microphone's gonna be recording this whole time. And I just want y'all to be safe with your money. We're not living in the best times when it comes to like recessionary or inflationary times, I guess I would say. A lot of prices are going up. Things are getting more expensive. It's gonna get worse before it gets better. So y'all gotta be safe with your money. And overall, it's been Saadiq.Ranks. If you haven't checked out some other videos, I got some crazy ones right here. New video coming next week. Love y'all. It's been Saadiq.